Okay. I am the Y2K collector and I am back. And this is not the 1,000 subscriber collection video that I've been mentioning. No, this is an update on the video game collection challenge that I launched a few days ago. So for those of you who have followed the channel, first off, I want to say thank you to all of my day one subscribers. I consider anyone who was subscribed 0 to 1,000 as a day one subscriber. So thank you to all of my day ones. Appreciate everyone who's followed the collecting journey. You know, I started to document my collecting journey right around the start of the pandemic or during the pandemic. And like many others, video games helped me get through one of the toughest times in the history of the world, right? Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything, 24-hour lockdown, nothing to do. And during the times of complete boredom and misery, I was able to reach into my video game collection and get a nice hit of nostalgia from some of the retro games that I had. So the collecting journey continues, and I am in a new phase of my collecting journey where I have a lot of the nostalgia games and the nostalgia consoles that I wanted growing up. But now I want to start working on the games in my collection that were kind of like the fantasy games. Maybe the games that I always wanted, but either just never got around to purchasing, or I was just never able to get my hands on them. And so as I launch into this next phase of collecting, obviously the goal is to be frugal. And when I launched this game collection challenge, I launched it pretty much with some of the loose games and loose items that I had around the house. And the plan was for me to sell some of these items to kind of build up a base, amount of dollars, amount of money to really actually start my collection. So, but as I started to try and list some of the items that I had, I realized that there has actually been a huge shift in the video game market, and the margins just are not what they used to be. Even 6 months ago, you could go to a thrift store, buy a bunch of, pretty common titles and still be able to flip them for a few bucks. But what we're seeing is that people have gotten over the nostalgia aspect of retro games. For a lot of people, reality is coming back and they don't have the time to play video games. And just a lot of people are really strapped. So strapped for cash, that is. So when it comes to the, collecting, I don't think the market is as robust as it once was. And so I found myself in a position where I needed to add items to the box in order to be able to get a substantial enough amount of money to be able to begin collecting, as well as continue purchasing to resell. So I wanted to go over here real quick, just a few items that I added to the sell box to help build out my collection. And so I'm going to start off with this item here, which was an item that I had actually picked up from Target. And I saw it, and again, this was a pure nostalgia buy. Like I was, absolutely blown away when I saw this. But this is a retrocade. So this is kind of like a miniature arcade, and it looks exactly like the ones that I saw in the barbershops and the corner stores growing up. Like exactly, like this was the cabinet that you saw in, and I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in the hood. And in the hood, you always saw Street Fighter 2 in the Chinese shop. You saw Street Fighter 2 in the barber shop. You saw Street Fighter 2 sometimes in the little bodega, the cuchifrito, the little spots in the hood. So this one was a nostalgia buy, but this is not practical, right? This is not a practical piece from my collection, nor is it something that I kind of want to add to my collection of just, authentic, retro games. So this is one that I am going to be adding to the sell box so that we can go ahead and get it sold and get some funds for that. Another game that I picked up that I'm going to be adding to the sell box is this clean copy of Spider-Man Edge of Time on the Nintendo Wii. Now, Spider-Man Edge of Time is a pretty sick game, and on the Xbox 360 as well as the PS3, this game easily sells for $70. I'm not sure why it drops off a cliff when it comes to the Wii, but my spidey senses are telling me that it's because of this right here. No one wants to play an action game like Spider-Man using a nunchuck, and I think if this game would have been compatible with one of Nintendo's more like standard controllers, like the regular gamepad, I think this game probably would have been more valuable. But because you're confined to the nunchuck, I mean, what would have been an amazing game is reduced to 10 to 15 bucks. But this is one that I did add to boost the collection. And between these two, so far, we're looking at about $25 in value that we can add to the game fund. Another game that I added to the sell box was this second copy of Zelda Link Between Worlds. This is basically like the 3D version of Link to the Past on the 3DS. I do already have a copy of this game, but I did, again, I saw this here and I wanted to add to the collection fund, and this could get me between 20 and 25 bucks, so I'll add that there. And so far, it looks like we're running at a tab of anywhere between 40 and 50 bucks is what I should get for these three. Then next up, we have a clean copy of Kirby Superstar Ultra. Found this at GameStop for about 10 to 50, no, sorry, it was about 15 to 20 bucks. I think I had a coupon, so it was 15 bucks. But Kirby Superstar Ultra complete in box, which this one is actually complete in box. There we go. So if you look here, Kirby Superstar Ultra, oh geez Louise. So Superstar Ultra, the manual is in pretty decent condition. The cart is in pretty good condition, and it has all the inserts. I should be able to get about 40 to 45 bucks for this copy here. Pretty good copy. I just got to fix that insert cover because it came out. I'm over here trying to handle it with one hand. So right now, just here in this, with these four items, I'm looking at anywhere between 80 and 90 bucks in resale value to be able to add to the collection fund. So wanted to add those items just to try to beef up the fund a little bit. You know, I don't plan on adding like shovelware to my collection. So I need the bank account, right? The collection bank to be as fully funded as possible. Here goes another item that I'm selling. This is a loose item I saw in the house. This is for those who are not familiar, this is a receiver for the Nintendo Super Scope. So if you ever played games like Battle Clash or any of those games that require like a light gun, the Super Scope was Nintendo's was the light gun for the Super Nintendo. And this is the receiver for it. You plug this into the back. You plug this receiver into the back of your Super Nintendo, and then you aim the light gun here. You make sure you aim it at the infrared switch here, and have a blast. The only thing is that you needed to have a CRT TV in order to be able to play this. You can't use this on an HD TV, so that's the only catch there. But this probably sells for about 5 to 10 bucks, so that'll put us at about 95 to 100 bucks on the collection fund. And then I also added this controller here. This is a Nintendo original NES controller. It's got that beautiful yellowing from all those years, but we know this isn't a knock to the NES, right? That yellowing just means that it's got some character. It's been used before. The NES that I use, the only NES that I own is the top loader NES, and I use the Wishbone controller when I play my NES games. So I can part ways with this one. This should get me between, I don't know, maybe 10 bucks on this, which will put the full-on collection fund somewhere in the neighborhood of around, that should get me to about 110 bucks or so between all these items here. And then we have everything else that is in the box from my original video, right? So I've still got all of these empty cases. I'm hoping these 3 cases might get me another 5 bucks or so. So that would put me at 115. This Super Smash Bros. Melee case and manual ought to get me about 20 to 30 bucks. So that puts me at around 125, 130. We still have the Switch portable case here, which I could get 10 bucks for. That puts me at around 140, 150. We have this Partners in Time case here. That's another 10 bucks, 150, 160. A Marvel Superheroes replacement case. That's 5 bucks, so 165. And then we have this copy of Contra Hard Corps on the Sega Genesis, which should get me anywhere between 40 and 50 bucks. So all in all, with everything that I've added, I'm hoping to start the collection fund with about 200 bucks in value so that we can go and get our first game. But I am going to be running out the door right now to go to my nearest thrift store and game store to see if there's any other games that they have there that I can buy and flip to add to the video game collection fund. So this is actually a cool challenge for me. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've gone out in the field and done like active hunting. So this will be fun to do. I will let you know what I find when I get back. And then again, stay tuned this weekend because I do plan on releasing my 2023 video game collection video for my 1,000 subscribers. Again, thank you so much to everyone who subscribed to the channel and just, who have stuck around to listen to my rants on video games. All right, but that does it for me. I am the Y2K Collector. Time for me to go hunting. I'll let you know what I find. Take it easy.